Hi everyone, welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys about the impact that Lamelo Ball is having on the Charlotte Hornets. So let me start by asking you a question. How does a team go from winning 23 games in a 72-game season last year to already having 27 wins through 52 games this season? It's a simple answer really. Lamelo Ball. In the 17 years that I've been alive, I've been a lifelong Hornets fan. In that time, I've seen elite players come and go, and I've seen the impact that they've had on the organization as a whole. But in those 17 years, I've never seen a rookie come in and have this big of an impact on the organization as a whole. So, what kind of things does Lamelo Ball do that's so special for the organization? First off, let's look at the Hornets' assists per game last season compared to this season, courtesy of the stats page on NBA.com. As you can see, last season the Hornets ranked 20th in the NBA with 23 assists per game. This season, they rank 4th in the NBA with 27 assists per game. Now, what I don't have on the slide there is our average passes per game. So, it's roughly about 104.8 according to basketballreference.com. And it's stayed fairly consistent this season. What that means is Lamelo Ball isn't just pushing the pace and creating more opportunities. He's just getting guys better looks to capitalize on his passes. And that's helping out our team tremendously. Now, Lamelo also pushes the pace in transition. Last year, the Hornets ranked last in the NBA with 99.8 possessions per game, according to Mike Smiley's article on the Hornets season at the All-Star break on atthehive.com. So, we were absolutely dead last. We were going at the slowest pace last season. And this season, we've increased that up to 102.5 possessions per game. Now, that's not a massive increase. It's only about 3.5, 4 per game. But the Hornets have jumped from last all the way up to 17th in pace of play in the year. And there hasn't been a significant increase in turnovers with that pace of play, which is very rare for an NBA team to do and really speaks to LaMelo's decision-making on the court. Now, why is this pace of play attributed to LaMelo Ball? Well, let's just hear from the Hornets head coach himself. James Borrego says that the biggest thing for Melo is his ability to push the pace. So before we drafted Lamelo Ball, 3rd overall in this year's NBA draft, James Borrego is going to have a largely similar roster to what he had last season, with the only new face being Gordon Hayward, who was formerly with the Boston Celtics. So with that in mind, Gordon is about 29 years of age, so he's getting up there, so he doesn't necessarily want to play at that fast of a pace. So James Borrego is going to keep the pace exactly where it was from last season. But when Mitch Kupchak, the GM of the Hornets, drafted Lamelo Ball, James Borrego immediately set to work a plan where we'd have a 3-guard lineup closing out games featuring Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, and Lamelo Ball, and pushing the pace in transition to try to get easy opportunities on a fast break. Now, this has been very effective, because the Hornets currently rank 1st in transition points per game, according to Fox Sports Southeast's broadcast of last night's game. Now, Lamelo Ball does a lot more than just pass really well and push the tempo. Lamelo's impact goes far beyond what he does on the court. Lamelo impacts the organization as a whole. Let me explain. So, last season, with the pandemic, the NBA's franchises, in total, they lost value, typically, except for a few teams here and there, and one of those teams was the Charlotte Hornets. Now, that was due to the drafting of Lamelo Ball, because this season, with Lamelo, the Hornets have set a franchise record in merchandise sales, according to Forbes. That is insane. Because the Hornets have been around, this version of the Hornets have been around since 2004, and they've never been able to sell as much as what they are selling now. That speaks to the impact of having Lamelo Ball on your team. The reason why merchandise sales have gone up so much with Lamelo is because Lamelo has been a star of his family at a very young age. When he was in high school at Chino Hills, he had an older brother named Lonzo and Leangelo, both of whom went on to play college ball, and Lonzo is actually in the NBA as well. But the media attention that they got being in California and having this insane high school record was out of the world. It caused their father, LeVar Ball, to set up his own company and to give them their own signature shoes. And LaMelo even was driving a Lamborghini at the age of 16. And everywhere they went, it seemed like the spotlight followed them. And that is true for the Hornets this season. If you've watched any NBA games this season, you know that the Hornets have been on national television a lot more than what you'd think. And that's in large part due to LaMelo Ball. And it's also part of the reason why the franchise value hasn't dropped as a whole. Because the franchise is getting more attention because everyone wants to see what a special talent LaMelo is. And it truly represents just the absolute pinnacle of impact in the NBA. Because how many franchises can say they have a star that will bring people to the stands, that will bring the cameras from the bright cities of New York and LA to a mid-market team like Charlotte? I can't think of any off the top of my head. Toronto had that for a little bit with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. And Indiana, they've had stars here and there. But other than that, none of these small market teams have this star that they can grasp onto and that will bring this bright media attention to them. And Charlotte has found this hidden gem in LaMelo that does all that for them. And it's truly amazing. And that's why I think he deserves all the credit in the world for what's been going on this season with the Hornets. And I just want to thank you all for your time. I hope you've learned a little bit of something about the Charlotte Hornets and the impact LaMelo's having on them. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll leave you guys with the sources that I used. Go check out any of them. I definitely recommend checking out the article at The Hive. It really has a deep dive into what kind of special season the Hornets are having this year. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.